Hello, beloved Earthbound fam. The full shift into the age of Aquarius finds us on July 30th. Can you feel it? Do you see it? Do you recognize it? I bet that you do, but there are definitely avenues that are doing their best at eluding our attention. The energetics above are making this take shape down here below on Earth plane, especially through the health of our planet and our human bodies in all four of their aspects, being physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So, if you know me well, then you know that I am what many consider a health freakazoid. But that is because I have faced death inducing dis-ease before, and I never want to go through that horrendousness ever, ever again. It was one of the biggest challenges of my life, literally, to keep my life and regain my health so that I could live life. But thankfully, our Mother, Father, God led me to all that I needed to heal myself because obviously my mission here is not done yet. So, today I want to talk about how all of this is coming into formations that may help distinguish some of these challenges as they come up so you can meet them head on and rise above them. Please note that each and every one of us has an individual blueprint, if you will, concerning our states of health. It all is written in the stars that we were born under in our birth charts. So, my body and your body are two completely different vessels that require completely different care. That being said, the fundamental aspects of human physiology are collectively spot on for how a human body functions properly in the earthbound environment. So let's get into what's going on up there, shall we? As always, reel this in or release it freely. I'm just relaying some information here in hopes of helping someone who may benefit from the words that are coming out of my mouth. So, before I get started, as I was going through so much of this today, I, of course, every day, as if you watch any of my videos, you know, I read my little book of virtues and what it has to say. And it's funny because today's says, it is not in the still of calm, sorry, it is not in the still calm of life or in the repose of a Pacific station that great challenges are formed. Great necessities call out great virtues by Abigail Adams. And I hope you can see that. And Abigail Adams had certainly had her share of challenges to go through. If you don't know how John Adams died, he was one of the presidents of our beautiful United States, um, you should check it out and see because it was quite tragic. And she stood right next to him through the entire situation until the last days of his life. So there's that. And not only that, the tea tag, every day I have this little jar of tea tags, and every day I pull a tea tag that just kind of gives me a little sense of a frame of mind that I might think about, you know, as I go through my day. And today's tea tag says, love is the highest of all virtues. Hopefully that is coming in the way that it should. I can't tell. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into these other little things that I have to speak to you about in this vloggy. Saturn's retrograde in Aries on this past Sunday, with Mama Moon's fullness in Aquarius happening tomorrow, plus a father-son and King Jupe Kazemi happening in Leo right about this time tomorrow, is bearing down some extreme energetics that most of us have not experienced in this lifetime. We also have harvest season coming up on August 1st. And this year, it may be a doozy with all of the weather anomalies that have taken place recently. The Neptunian roof is an alignment that no one has ever lived through in recorded human history, and it is still in perfect degree alignment at that fourth degree, protecting the roots of this generational transfer of energy. Also, Chiron, the wounded healer, will go retrograde on August 3rd, starting his dip back into the house of Aries. Venus moves into Libra on August 6th, and Mr. Mercury that is, moves into Leo on August 9th. And to top it all off, Lilith, Lilith the Liberator, as I like to call her, Lilith the Dark Moon, is in the final and most anaretic degrees of Ophiuchus territory in Sagittarius right now. She won't move into the 27th degree until August 22nd. And as she moves out of that anaretic degree of the House of Ophiuchus, she will be conjunct Mama Moon just one day before we move into Virgo season. This is a call to really, really, really take good care of ourselves in all four of our bodies: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Because that same day, Venus hits the 15th degree midpoint of the House of Libra. The House of Libra is all about judgment and balance. And this is the point when the scales of justice will be tipped one way or the other, depending on the energetics we keep high or low between now and then. Mama Gaia, Earth, is in a full-on purge and the currents of what's coming at us through earth plane shifting energetics as we move through these potent shifts of earthbound assessments and resets. Just a few examples of what's happening literally right now. Japan just had a 7.7 earthquake earlier this morning as of USA time. The Guatemalan-Mexican border just had a 5.9 earthquake. There just happened to be major flooding in the largest desert in North America in the middle of summertime, when it should be dry as anything. And we have heat waves, forest fires, and Pacific hurricanes all on the rise. Because the energy coming from below us is literally off the charts, my friends. The Schumann resonance chart, which monitors the energy coming from below, shows this in spades. So that's probably got a lot to do with any kind of aggro, aggressive, anxiety filled, frustrating, angry, nervous, or WTF feelings you might be feeling, or might be subjected to by others at this time. Everyone is running on high. You see what I'm saying? Summer season and further Leo season, which we are currently going through, rules the heart and the physical body, and these areas are always susceptible to this type of energy each year, especially in the northern hemisphere, where we're in the heart and the heat of summer itself. When Father Sun and King Jupe meet at their Cazimi across the zodiac from Mama Moon in her fullness tomorrow on July 29th, this will be a full throttle burst of light, you could say, because Father Sun is the light of our world, right? And King Jupe is known as the light bringer, and Mama Moon, in a full state of her cycle, is light reflected back to us down here on Earth plane. So we will be receiving the fullest power of the celestial spotlight, showing us numerous systems of collapse. And that's not just in the human health system, nor the human built societal systems we're accustomed to. That's just about every system we've known inside of us and outside of us going into a systematic shutdown and flush out so the new and the better systems can evolve into their places. The systems that will be collapsing are governed by Mama Gaia and regulated by what's going on with Father Sun, King Jupe in the House of Leo, and Mama Moon's fullness in the House of Aquarius on July 29th, preparing us for the nodes of fate moving into the 0 point or the void degree of these houses as well. Coincidentally, if you believe in those, the nodes of fate will sit in the void degrees of Leo and Aquarius, South Node in Leo, North Node in Aquarius, for 19 days. So, right up to when Father Sun enters Virgo, kicking off the Virgo season. Virgo season is all about digestive health in all four of our bodies. And in numerology, the number 19 breaks down to 1 plus 9 equals 10, then 1 plus 0 equals 1. So 1. 1 is the symbol of new beginnings, and we are currently going through a 1 year in the astrological calendars because 2026, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. That's not an accident, y'all. That is our Mother, Father, God at work, readjusting the stabilization, the strength, and the sturdiness, and the cohesion of our planet, as well as our entire solar system and the universe and kind. Right now, the only constant that can be counted on is change. Change requires flow, and change is the recipe our Mother, Father, God is cooking up for all of us right now. If it can't go with their flow, Gaia will be sure that it is removed from the proverbial river of life here on Earth plane. Friends, this recipe is the strategy for many, one could say most, systems to break down here on Earth plane, and therefore in the health of our four bodies, the physical, mental, emotional, and most of all, spiritual as well. It is going to be of the utmost importance to care for all four of our bodies, and this will become evident by how well or unwell our nervous system is. An unwell nervous system can appear in many forms. For example, heart palpitations, irregular heartbeats, blood pressure spikes or dips, blood vessel issues, iron and mineral depletion, heat rising in the body like hot flashes or temperature spikes, or running a high temperature or fever, shortness of breath or being unable to breathe, allergies running amok, issues with sleep or dehydration. All of these are symptoms you might be feeling, and all of these are major factors for a weakened immune system. Self-care, which is represented perfectly by Venus and Virgo right now, should be a top priority for all of us. And I'm talking self-care far beyond getting a massage or getting your nails and your hairs done. And P.S., I just want to put this in real fast that you can rewatch, or if you haven't watched it yet, the Venus and Virgo video that I did, as well as the tarot reading that I did on what we can expect as Venus moves through the house of Virgo. I'll link those in the description below. But back to self-care. I am talking about a reevaluation of all of the things we are ingesting through food and drinks, through media, through our individual beliefs, and the stagnancy or the emotional stability of those, as well as how quickly we can recognize any negative thoughts entering our minds and how quickly we can transmute them into positive outlooks, which raises our spiritual vibration immediately. Remember, Saturn, who governs rules, regulations, systems, structures, and traditions, has gone into retrograde, which means he's moving backwards from our viewpoint here on Earth plane. And backwards is the direction in which all of the things I just mentioned about what Saturn governs will move in as well. Kind of a he's in retrograde, so that offers us a time of retrospection. How have we been treating ourselves? As we approach the upcoming solar eclipse on August 12th, which just happens to coincide with Ceres moving into the house of Cancer, much of this will take shape for all of us to see, whether you can read astrology charts or not. Ceres is the goddess of hearth, home, agricultural abundance, and therefore human health. She is akin to being considered our Mother Earth in cahoots with Mama Gaia. And Ceres will be moving into the house of Cancer, which is all about the home, the heart, immediate family connections, and the how, what, and where we feel safe and secure. Not to mention that on August 3rd, Chiron, the cosmic energetic who rules how we heal physically, mentally, emotionally, and therefore spiritually, will be entering his retrograde, which will send him back into the anaretic degrees of Aries until the end of January 2027. The deets on that, though, are for another vloggy, but just know that it will be another incredibly powerful energetic in the above that will be influencing us down here below. Health is so important right now, y'all. So, yeah, things are going to get topsy-turvy as Earth plane's customary regulations release, fall away, and the revelations unfold in their place. This is evolution in real time, y'all. We're moving into a whole new paradigm of life here on Earth plane. And this is just the old ways dying right before our very eyes. So the new and the better can be birthed into existence. Not everyone is going to be able to go, but I hope that you will make sure that you can by taking very good care of yourself. So let's get back to the health. Because if you're not feeling well lately, more than likely it is due to an overactive nervous system, which triggers an overactive cardiovascular response in the body. The cardiovascular system manages the heart, blood pressure, blood vessels, the circulation of blood through the body, as well as the circulation of oxygen through the body. If these are weak spots for you in your physical body, that leaks into the well-being of your mental and emotional bodies as well. For instance, when you don't feel good, it's difficult to concentrate on anything else or to give your full attention and positive energy to anything else, right? So if you're feeling any of the feelings I mentioned, don't panic. All that needs to take place is giving these areas more love and attention at this time. There are many things you can do to regulate these systems so they work for you instead of against you. And all of this is in your own full control. It is important to realize how powerful you are when it comes to the health of your four bodies, because we are in a major testing ground right now for how and who we rely on to keep us safe, secure, healthy, and happy. If we're relying on outside forces, meaning people, places, and things, to regulate these things for us, then we willingly give away our power to those people, places, and things. Just saying. However, you can become your own hero by stepping up and taking charge of these things for yourself. Here are a few suggestions to help, or I hope they help. Of course, reel them in or release them freely as we move through the rest of this summer. The first one is to oxygenate your body. Oxygen helps blood flow through the body. Doing some very easy breathing exercises each morning when you get up and before you go to bed will help tremendously to regulate your nervous system. An easy breathing technique you can do is called the square breath. It's breathing in deep breaths in and out through the nose, holding for 3 to 4 counts at the top of the in breath, and then holding the breath at the bottom, and then holding the breath out at the bottom for 3 to 4 counts as well. So let me give you an example. So you take a deep breath in through the nose, hold for 3 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want. Then breathe out through the nose. Hold it out. 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do this around 5 times if you can, and just notice how you feel after you do it in comparison to how you felt before you did it. If you can go further than 5 times, by all means, do that. But you don't have to push it. Nobody's telling you to push anything, and especially if this is new to you. It may take a little getting used to, but that's okay. This will help calm the nervous system, which is overactive in everyone right now, and what is more than likely causing the spikes in blood or breathing related yucks that you might be feeling. So, number 2, taking B vitamins and vitamin D3 is crucial for nervous system regulation. B12, B6, and B1 are the most crucial B vitamins to nourish the nervous system. And it's important to realize that they should not be taken in a multivitamin form. Just bear with me. I know that doesn't seem convenient, but it is because each of them requires a different medium for maximum absorption into the cells. For example, B12 vitamins don't require food or fat for best absorption, but B6 and B1 are better taken with food because they have a tendency to upset our bellies if they're taken on an empty stomach. And also, for D3 to be absorbed correctly into our cells, it needs to be taken with some source of fat. Not necessarily food, yes, food, but fat specifically. Also, for D3 to be absorbed well into our cells, we need sufficient amounts of magnesium and K2 in our bodies. For magnesium to be absorbed in its fullest into our cells, we need the correct amount of potassium, zinc, and calcium going on. But taking too much calcium will inhibit the absorption of all of these because calcium accumulates quickly, and too much calcium can cause blockages in the veins, which are like the river systems of our bodies. I know that's all very overwhelming, and I tend to overwhelm people consistently with this kind of information. But if you're interested, I can break it all down into bits and pieces in another vloggy. Just let me know in the comments if you're interested in that, and I would be happy to oblige. Meanwhile, I'm going to make a vloggy on how you can use a pendulum. This is my pendulum I wear around my neck every single day. A pendulum technique to determine how much of a vitamin or mineral your body needs. But I'm going to do that in a whole different vloggy because I feel like it's something that people should be able to come back to whenever they need to a specific space. Does that make sense? It's important, though, to realize that our bodies communicate with us directly, but we forgot about that and we forgot how to listen to them. So the pendulum technique, and when I do that vloggy, can help us to see how our bodies communicate with us and how we can listen to them and how we can respond to what it is they need. So I'll get to that soon. hopefully later on this week. The third thing I want to talk about is keeping up with minerals. The heat of summer brings on the sweats, right? And sweat automatically depletes our minerals. So, minerals directly affect how well you stay hydrated. If you are a woman around my age, or like say mid 40s to mid 50s, going through menopause, or if you're a man, say around between the ages of 50, 60 to 65, you're probably going through menopause because you do. It's very important to really pay attention to your minerals because you get sweaty at the drop of a hat, do you not? I know that you do because I've been there. Water absorption into our cells and minerals work hand in hand for the health of our human bodies. Using real ingredients to hydrate our bodies rather than sugary colored beverages is super important right now. So, some natural things or natural drinks that you can use in place of some of those colored beverages that say that they hydrate you. In place of those, you could drink aloe water or you could drink coconut water. They are great sources of hydration. You can also make a homemade hydration drink by taking 16 ounces of water and adding a good pinch of salt, and sea salts are best, and about an eighth to a quarter of a teaspoon of pure maple syrup. Mix it all up, slam that 16-ounce glass of water, and also, just another FYI, room temperature water hydrates your cells better than cold water does. I know that sounds like an oxymoron when we are dealing with summer heat, but it's true. You can look all of this up for yourself if you want to online. I urge you to do your own research on everything that is coming out of my mouth right now. But if you're going to rely on me, please know that I have done this research and I'm giving you the best information that I have absorbed into my brain about how to keep your body in its healthiest states. Back to the vlog. The most important excuse me, the most important minerals for proper hydration are magnesium glycinate, potassium citrate, zinc picolinate, and copper glycinate. Iron is also very important, especially in the summer. If you tend to have anemia or issues with iron absorption in any way, try drinking moringa tea, Moringa, the tea, because the leaves contain tons of iron as well as vitamin C. And it is very important to have the correct amount of vitamin C in your body for iron to absorb into your cells the way and in the efficiency that it should. I know, I know, it's lots of information. So, again, if you're interested in learning more about this, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll do more videos on health stuff if that's something that interests you. The fourth thing that I want to talk to you about is exercise. Exercising with moderate intensity rather than strenuous or vigorous efforts is really important when it comes to summertime. The summertime heat already takes its toll on our hydration levels and therefore much of our strength and stamina as well. Our stress levels automatically rise in the summer due to summer's heat. We may not realize that, but it's true for the well-being of our human physiology. So taking it easy on the cardio during the next few weeks is the advice I'm going to give. Reel it in or release it freely. I'm not saying don't do cardio. Sure, do those cardio exercises. But instead of trying to do more or go faster, try slowing them down instead. You might, in fact, find that slowing down becomes more of a challenge than doing them fast, and tests your muscles in different ways of growth. Try it. Just try it. Don't necessarily push yourself into major extensions of reps or more weight or anything that depletes your energy. Although we always want to go, go, go in the summertime, summer is really a time for us to slow down a bit and nourish our energy so we can go into the autumn and winter seasons with strong and flourishing immune systems. That's something else we forgot about, but our bodies didn't. And our bodies are much smarter than our brains are, my friends. There's one more thing, a little tip that I want to give you about releasing heat from the body. And this is really important if you are going through menopause or menopause. Just a quick little trick. If you take your thumbs and put them at the back of your head, see if I can turn around here, back of your head, right below your, where the base of your skull hits your neck, right in that little groove. Take your thumbs here and you want to rub going outwards to release heat there. And you can do that about 60 times. Hope you can still hear me. Sorry, let me turn around now that I've shown you where that is. You can do that about 60 times, rubbing in those spots, going outwards to release energy. It will help tremendously. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it will. And one other little trick I want to tell you if you have issues with like heat rising in your body right now is another breath exercise. Breathe in through your mouth and out through your nose. 4 counts. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out. It's a natural way that we can cool our bodies. You can do that even if you're outside doing something and you're super hot. You can do those things and it will help your body to release heat. It really, really works. I hope you give it a shot. I wish I could say that the energy that's coming at us will be calming down soon, but that's not going to be happening, friends. We are in an evolutionary shift for all 4 of our bodies and Mama Gaia as well. And they are all orchestrated by how well the nervous system within us and outside of us, Mama Gaia's nervous system, is taken care of right now. But wait, there's more. But I digress right now. This is a lot of information, so let's leave it at what I've put out to y'all today. So in closing, let me just say this. No one said shifting an entire collective into a whole new way of living was going to be easy. No one ever said that. But they did say it will be worth it. And if you are reading this, then it should be obvious to you that your mission here is not done yet. So please take good care of you and your 4 bodies as we move through the summer season. So autumn and winter is kind to you. Pamper yourselves each and every day, my friends. And always, each and every day, remember to live the life you love. Love the gods you trust. And don't take it all too seriously, because being too serious is way too stressful. And stress hinders our body's ability to heal as well as our ability to learn. We all came here to Earth Plane to learn how to heal, whether we remember that or not. And learning requires mistakes. All mistakes can be corrected with valiant efforts to do right to and for ourselves and to and for those around us. So empowering ourselves to do right will automatically develop into healthier and happier lives. And always remember, remember that you are stars living in a human form. You are not standards. Now go shine and have yourselves a very joyful day. Blessed be.